What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Shout out to Kelvin Hicks in the building early. Thank you, fam, for being here. Really do appreciate you. I know we got some more people coming in. So as you guys come in, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for joining me on this Sunday. Kind of a chill Sunday today, at least for me anyway. The Cowboys are off. And last night I just decided to kind of go through the rest of my clips I had. As you guys can see from the thumbnail, it's just one of my training camp clips today. Nothing too crazy. Just really wanted to, share, really just share what I was able to get with you guys. Because I was able to get some pretty good shots. Today I'm just gonna just kind of took some of the clips I had from the 2 minute drill. Really, like the thumbnail says, for all the teams, first, second, and third teams, and really, I just want to kind of go back and just kind of highlight some of the players and what I think stood out in the 2 minute drills, and honestly, we'll go from there. We'll see if we get some more people to come in. We'll go from there. If not, then we'll just go through the clips I have, and then it'll be a nice short and sweet show. So before we dive, like I said, before we get too deep into it, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe. Hit the Cash App as well. Appreciate everybody who's been making donations. Shout out to everybody who's newly subscribed. I really do appreciate all the love, all the subscriptions, everybody hitting on my channel. And really got people who have just subscribed, donating to my Cash App just that quick. I really can't say enough. So I really do appreciate the time. JBB Boy, Nisi, Eastside Hero, shout out to you. I know everybody, even including me, kind of gives you trouble, but I appreciate your support. Bruce got the toxic juice. Melvin Rankin, Eric Hunter, Julius, Bieber, Dwayne Brown. Really appreciate everyone who has, take the time to like, subscribe, share, and also who have, like I said, took the time to donate to my Cash App. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be too long of a show today. Like I said, I just wanted to go through. And hey, what's up, Keystone? How you doing? How you doing, fam? Good to see you. But yeah, like I said, I'm just going to go through some of the clips I was able to pick up from training camp yesterday from the blue and white practice. And like I said, what I'm going to do, I just decided instead of doing like stop and go and trying to do commentary at the same time, I figured I'd just let each team kind of play, each drill kind of play through. And then, of course, we all watch it. And then I'll just kind of go back and just kind of go over the clips that kind of highlight some of the players that I, either like what they did or maybe just kind of comment on how the play went. So yeah, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this up, and if you guys can bear with me, it shouldn't take long. Let's see, I should have the action. Okay, here we go. All right, and they don't have any sound, so there's no, you're not missing out on any audio. But just let me know if you guys can see, if you guys can see the visual. And this, like I said, this is the first team here. Starting out, this is actually after the deep pass to Brandon Cooks. That was kind of a highlight of the blue and white practice yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't have my camera up and ready at the time. I was kind of blown about it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to miss something if I don't, get the shot. And sure enough, Brandon Cooks makes a crazy play downfield. And it's things like that is wild. And we heard about that connection in camp, and have been hearing about it in this camp as well. Not like it was kind of hyped up, last season, but I'm glad to see, Dak and Brandon, still Brandon Cooks still having that connection, and not even just on deep passes, we still see him making, dives here and there. I believe he had a diving catch a couple of practice a couple of days ago. He also, making, really just making really just the plays that matter. Just the plays that count. Those plays that have to be made. Crossing routes across the field, and I'm really just being in the right place at the right time, and just continuing to kind of build that chemistry with Zach. So I'm like I said, I'm just gonna let I'll let the first 2 minute drill play through, and then I'll go back and kind of go over some of the clips. All right, there we have it. That's really the end right there. The first team 2 minute drill. As we've seen, there's about maybe about minus the Brandon Cooks bomb down the field, about maybe a 6 or 7 play drive right there. We've seen Dak easily able to move down the field. We already know he has that rapport with the players, and it's just good to see that he's still maintaining that connection. And then we see at the end, Jalen Moreno Cropper coming through with the touchdown. And one thing, that's something I talked about with Law last night on my show, where Jalen Moreno Cropper is going to make it tough for these guys to make decisions about how many wide receivers that they will actually keep in this roster. And and I just kind of, just kind of going back over the clips, I was like, wow, he really stood out. He has a connection with Dak, but not just Dak. Cooper Rush. Obviously, he's going back and forth between first and second team, and then Trey Lance as well. So, and for him to score with both the first and second team is, it's like wow, they're definitely showing their trust, and the coaches are definitely showing how much they, want to incorporate him into the offense. I mean, we see them seeing him in motion a lot. We seen that a lot last season in the preseason game as well. So he has that shiftiness to him, that speed to him, and is I think he could, kind of as far as comparison, I think you could probably, kind of compare him to Brandon Cooks, as far as maybe on the second or third team, if he still were to make, if he still were to make the team, maybe kind of low on the depth chart, or even practice squad, he could kind of have, he kind of has those similarities where, he can break out on the slant or even break out on the crosser route and, still be able to, not afraid to go across the middle and make those catches. So I think that's important. Yeah, exactly, Keystone. Yeah, yeah, him getting ones with the runs, him getting runs with the ones, and also, yeah, yeah, that's so true, Keystone. We know. I mean, I think he's a lock for this roster, but I like Tyron Billy Johnson as well. So it really, I think it's gonna come down to how many wide receivers they decide to keep. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is go back over just some of the clips from that initial drive that they have, and then just kind of highlight some of the spots that I like. All right, so let me know if you guys can see the page. I'm gonna try to have it where it kind of fully fills up the screen. All right, yeah, there you go. So you guys should be able to see it. And actually, I'm actually going to zoom in just to make sure, just to give you guys a better view. Yeah, so on this first clip, I just want to show, of course, you guys have heard already from, our beat writers and across social media that Damone Clark had a really, really good camp, and it really has been showing out in camp just so far in padded practices, altogether. So it's, you know, for me, I got this clip right here just to show that he was in the backfield. I'm sure you guys have seen this clip just from a different angle, but it shows just how quick he gets to the backfield. He's able to, kind of snip out the ball. He sees that Zeke has the ball and is able to come in for the tackle for loss. Let me open to the next play, and then so we're gonna start here. If you guys can see my cursor, this is Clark right here, and then of course we see Zeke right here in the backfield, and you can even see what I'm gonna do is kind of go and pause it, and then I want to show you guys something. We see Dak hike the ball. And like I said, this is Clark right here. So if I can just get it at the right moment, like before, I'll try. I had it earlier. Let me see if I can get it again. Where we can see before the Zeke even gets the ball, we see Damone's eyes. We see him locked in on Zeke kind of automatically. Like Zeke is still kind of waiting for the shuffle pass from Dak, and you can see Damone is already locked in on Zeke. So as the play goes on, he's already breaking through the line of scrimmage. And before Zeke can even think about where to even go, Damone is already there. And then we see him coming at the end and kind of tag him right there, like I said, for the tackle for loss. And really just getting back, as a lot of people have been saying about like my girl Star, I saw her tweet yesterday, just saying that he's able to just kind of play free again, and not just be so wrapped up maybe in so much responsibility that was kind of put on his shoulders, kind of earlier in the season last year. So it's just good to see him kind of come back playing with that fast speed that just kind of allows him to, that just really just allows him to be him. This next play is going to be our second round pick, Marshawn Nealon. What happens here is Dak kind of checks down to a run, and I'm just going to hit fast forward here to the play. We're going to see Nealon just kind of tag Davis before he's able to run in for the touchdown. We see him he's the first one in the backfield. Where we see even just right here off the edge, I mean, I'm sure it has to do with no one was blocking him, but he shows that recognition. He's the first one back there, and it's once again a tackle for loss. You see him get tagged right there. You see the next clip should be this play. Of course, it's the last play. Jalen Moreno Cropper with a touchdown in the end zone. Like I said, he starts right here. You guys can see my picture. They're right here. He's able to go up in a quick route to the end zone, and Dak hits him, of course, pretty much with a dart right there. And Jay Lou in coverage, and Jay Lou is great in coverage or pressing the line, but for Crawford to still make that catch because Jay Lou was right there. It just shows how much he's really been showing out in camp. Yeah, Keystone. Yeah, Dak is definitely he's very dangerous with multiple receivers. Don't forget he was number one his rookie year. And yeah, facts. I mean, we know Dak is able to bring up receivers like Cedric Wilson, even Randall Cobb when they brought him in, and guys that we've had along the way, Noah Brown, Dennis Houston, guys like that. I mean, the list goes on, and even the guys we had this year. We have a long list of guys in the wide receiver room that Dak is able to bring along since that they're able to spend more time with him and have those reps. Even, Devontae Turpin, he's been here for a few years, and we know Turpin to not really drop too many passes, but he's been building that connection with Dak. Jalen Brooks speaks about his connection with Dak. We know Jalen Tolbert has that connection with Dak. So the list literally goes on. Like it's Dak not only uplifts these guys, with numbers and things like that, and and with passes and able to up their pass yardage, but it's just he's able to build that personal connection, and everyone knows that could be a good guy. He's a good sportsman and a phenomenal leader. So it's just great. It's just great that Dak is able to build these type of relationships with more than just his number one wide receiver. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and move on to the next the second team 2 minute drill, and then of course we'll have just a few notes after that. So this start, of course, is Cooper Rush. I think just going to kind of not narrate it, but just kind of speak through it. But on this first one, I think BD kind of bobbles the snap a little bit, so it took Cooper Rush just a little bit to kind of adjust, get the his hand placement right on the ball, and then to get the ball out. I believe to Hunter Licky on the right. I'm not, I wasn't the receiver's kind of far off from my shot, but so I think shout out to my girl Star. She definitely she got some footage on BB yesterday. She was able to record from the 11 on from the blue and star from the blue and white practice that came on TV, and also I was able to send her a shot of a really good snap a BB shotgun snap, and I think. I believe it was intentional with the coaching staff yesterday. Pretty much this whole drive was compiled of shotgun snaps. So I think number one, of course, they're trying to hone in on that. Shots like I said, my girl Star. I think she was tweeting John Owning. About he's trying to create that muscle memory where he needs to make it natural to be a center. And that's what it takes. I mean, for everyone, for anyone in life, trying to learn if you don't know how to naturally do something, or you're trying to learn how to do something, you need a few cracks at it. So it stands to reason why Cooper would need snaps with the second team. It stands to reason why he would need just a little bit more time. Vice a Brock Hoffman who was here, or even a TJ Bass. I mean, I know it's more of a battle between Hoffman and BB, but even TJ Bass, he could probably give BB a run, just a little bit run of his money, maybe not in size, but he's had that experience playing center and has had in-game snaps at it. So, but we know that BB is definitely coming along. Shout out to Tom BB, Cooper BB's father. He followed me here on YouTube, and sent me a couple messages. That was definitely cool to see. But also he knows too. He said it's just gonna take patience. And really it's a matter of time. Like with BB, we know he's played up and down this offensive line. No problem, and he just needs that. He just needs those reps, right? So it's just like he says, it's gonna be a matter of time, and whether he plays center or whether they have him playing right guard, on second team, just to get him kind of acclimated to that. So it stands to reason that eventually BB is going to have a spot on this team no matter what. So they're definitely going to invest. They invested a lot in it, but also he has that return and he's showing that potential early. He just needs to just make a few adjustments in order to play the position. Just like we can kind of say the same thing for Guyton when we're talking about him playing that left tackle position. All right, and right there we just saw a diving pass by David Durden, who really hasn't been getting a lot of burn at wide receiver, but for me personally, I've seen him taking a lot of special team snaps. I've seen him doing a lot of kind of return things at practice the last couple of days. And I mean, it's good to see, and he's doing well, in that avenue as well. So it's good to see that he's at least getting some burn. Like I said, it's good to see that he's come back healthy. And to even see that diving catch, I mean, he has the confidence to obviously put his body out there and show that, hey, I'm coming back too. Whether he has a chance to make this team, still stands to be seen. But just seeing that type of energy he's displaying, that type of willingness to go out there and die for the ball, that willingness to go out there and say, hey, like I'm still trying to do this myself. That I think that's encouraging. I think that's encouraging on his part. Yeah, one more time. Just amazing hands, all hands. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it converts to a first down, but they were to kind of move up and kind of go for the next snap from there. Of course, she's hiring Billy Johnson, who's just really been a can't standout, you know, since really pretty much since its inception. Entire Billy Johnson once again. I wasn't able to get the catch. I apologize about that. I kind of swung out a little bit late, but it was Tyron Billy Johnson with the first down. Yes, okay. So here, like I said, BB is doing better with his snaps and shotgun snaps. And I believe on this first play, this is where I because I noticed that one of the guys I want to take a look at, Junior for Hoko, I noticed that he was a little bit more in the field for this particular drive. So I was more so getting this footage right here, just kind of take a look at Hoko and to see, is he progressing? Is he, still having that power that I've seen, last preseason? I did see him kind of break through the line a couple times on this particular drive, but at the same time, I will say on the O line, they were putting some combo blocks on him. They had, I believe it was Josh Ball and what's his name, Earl Bostic on the left side. Trying to contain him with combo blocks. And there was one he was able to break through, and a couple that he was kind of washed out with. But like I said, I still want to see that energy. I still want to see that burst at the line. Maybe he can, maybe learn some techniques. With Greg Ellis coming in. One reason, as somebody mentioned, that he, got wanted to bring Greg Ellis in is because of his hand placement. He has great hands. I think he said he took jujitsu or something like that to get, for his hand placement, technique and things like that. So it's just, I just think it's interesting that these guys have different, just different types of guys at edge rushers who have different styles at getting off the line, but they definitely have to learn number one their strengths and how to use it to be able to kind of disengage from the block at the line. So I think this particular play I think is when I kind of honed in off the hook. You see them go out to the right with Hunter Lipke. Go goes right here, number 93, lining up on the right side. We have Mozzie here, of course, and Mozzie was getting some pretty good push against Bass on this drive. I think there's a clip later on in this drive where Mozzie actually, I think he actually gets the best of TJ Bass, is actually able to put some pressure on Cooper Rush. So he said Cooper had to step up, kind of make that completion. Hey, welcome in, Marcus McFarland. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. So here on the next one, we have Kalen Carson in coverage. Of course, we see the pass break up. And I'm sure he's seen it. It's kind of a long pass from Cooper Rush, so I'm sure he's seen it coming. Let's go over that one more time. So we see Tyron Billy Johnson lined up right here. Of course, Carson lined up across from him. Of course, it just took a little time for the ball to get there, but to see him step up, recognize it, just that energy. And actually, here for this clip right here, we're gonna have Eric Scott in coverage, and he kind of does a thing like that we see Deron Blaine do a lot. He kind of uses the sideline as his friend. So here we're gonna see Eric Scott kind of go deep in coverage. I couldn't from where I was sitting, I couldn't see the receiver who they were targeting, but Eric Scott does does very well, kind of shutting them to the edge, kind of shutting them to the sideline. Of course, we have I think that's Maris, linebackers here, and they've been showing pressure, all practice. And so we have here, wide receiver going. This is Eric Scott in coverage. As you see, he jumps, he gets his hands in there, kind of breaking up the pass, and that's good. It's good to see him making plays. He made a lot. He seemed to make a lot more plays last year, but it's still good to see him. I mean, he's making plays in OTAs, so he definitely needs a lot more to translate though in preseason. They're definitely going to give him a lot of chances. And this is what I was talking about. Mozzie puts a lot of pressure on Bass and actually able to kind of get past him and put a little pressure on Cooper Rush. Actually, Cooper was actually able to escape and throw the ball to Tyron Billy Johnson, and this I think is actually one of the little drops that Tyron Billy Johnson has made in camp. You see how Cooper has to step up. As you can see, Mozzie's get off is able to push, really, get off the block and go right past TJ Bass. You can see he's already passed him at this point. Bass has already lost. So it's good to see, it's just good to see Mozzie is getting better as far as his get off. And here we once again we have Jalen Cropper on Kalen Carson. And here actually Cropper is able to lose Kalen Carson for the touchdown. But I think it's kind of a one of those that we say in the NFL, a rub route where kind of gets caught in the trash in the middle. I think he kind of runs into Wanya Thomas across the middle, and Cropper is able to run in for the touchdown. Because he sees him moving already, but he ends up running into Wanya, and then he's able to get him. So you kind of see his reaction. So that's the point of it, right? For the DB kind of get caught up in for the wide receiver to be able to break out on that play and have all that. You guys saw all that room that was in between. Jalen Cropper and the next defender. So it's good to see that progress. Like I said, able to score for the first team, able to score for the second team. So I think that shows. I'm sure Jalen Cropper has confidence in himself. But once again, another guy who was here in the system last year. Able to progress, show that, just show that, really just that reverence to get better, for himself. And, we see him having an impact, and I'm sure we're going to see him a lot in preseason. So we're going to go ahead and go through the third team. And, see how Trey Lance did. I don't, just in my opinion, I think, Trey Lance had more of a down day yesterday. He's definitely got to show a lot in preseason. Let's see if I can seek it out right there. All right, here we go. All right, and really the real reason I brought this series is because, as we see with the first and second team, they're both able to score on their drive on a 2-minute drill. But unfortunately, Trey Lance wasn't. His team ended up stalling out. I believe at 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 9. But so I just think that kind of adds to, unfortunately, a list of reasons why Trey Lance isn't really, shocking anyone, or it really isn't surprising one at camp with his play, because right at this moment right now it's kind of subpar. I'm just gonna let this go ahead and let it play. So of course for that play we see, I think that's Josh DeBerry in coverage, kneeling, putting pressure on the pocket. We saw the pocket kind of collapsing. You see right here on the left hand side, the way he's kind of pushing back. That's one thing I like about kneeling. He's definitely stepping up to the challenge. If you kind of look, let me go back a little bit as he's coming off the line. I know it's Matt. Well, let's go, but just the way he kind of puts his hands inside and just kind of drives him back. I mean, that's definitely a way to get the lineman off of there. Kind of to get them off balance. We see him get off, use that power from the left to navigate his way, to use his hands inside, and then we see him driving back into the pocket. We see Trey Lance gets the ball out, but it's still putting that pressure on the quarterback's face. And also at the same time, we see DeBerry in coverage, able to break up that pass. See that pressure closing in again. But he does complete the pass. So here is another reason why he's not really impressing in camp. We're going to show a clear overthrow of the wide receiver. I believe it's Cam Johnson. Actually, no, it's not Cam Johnson. Number 84, whoever the 84 is. I couldn't get his name on the back of his jersey, but you see the overthrow. It was good, JBB boy. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. All right, so we see the pass going out to Cam Johnson, I believe is 14. That's another connection I think will be that we need to see, that we end up seeing in preseason. Trey Lance to Cam Johnson possibly, and he was going to Milan in this particular drive. Also, this connection with Princeton fan. Jalen Cropper, they decided to throw him in there with the 13 because we're going to see a lot of Trey Lance. So I'm sure he's going to have some kind of connection with Jalen Cropper and even Racing McMath. I didn't see him a lot on this particular drive, but we know, his name has kind of been ringing bells a little bit in the last couple of days at camp. And then we just have a quarterback sneak. Showing pressure at the line. And once again, we just kind of see the ball kind of float over Cam Johnson's head, number 14, their intended, what I believe to be the intended receiver. We just kind of see the ball kind of float over his head a little bit. Just kind of this inaccuracy. He does have the arm. It seems like from time to time, but sometimes the accuracy is just off. Hey, what's good, DC? What's up, sis? Thanks for joining me. It's almost like he almost threw right to the defender. If he, was really paying attention to the ball, he could easily picked it off. Once again, the linebackers showing pressure. The line is you see 51, and I believe that's Darrell Johnson. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the number list right up in front of me at this moment, but he had a good camp yesterday too. I think sneakily, like there were times at the line where he was definitely giving Earl Bostic problems on that right side, and just kind of course sneaking past Josh Ball on the right as well. But I think he had a great practice yesterday. You see him right there on the left, just really pretty much getting just rushing right past Josh Ball like he wasn't even there almost, which probably would have counted as a sack. It's just kind of hard, I'm sure it's kind of a little bit deflating. I'm sorry, no slight to Trey Lance. I'm sure it's deflating for some of these receivers who are trying to, show something in camp or just trying to really just trying to get the ball in their hands, and sometimes the play just blows up, or sometimes it just ends up, just end up being deaded, and it's like, man, like it's hard to get momentum going when it seems, when the offense seems stagnant. And here on this particular play, we have Jalen Cropper right here in the middle of the field, about to catch the ball. And honestly, first time I saw it, I thought the defender coming in here, Jason Johnson, I thought he picked it off. But once again, like I said, Jalen Cropper and shout out to Law. He mentioned him on our show last night about him. And look, speaking of, what's up, Law? How you doing? About him making passes, and I thought he picked it off, but we see him making plays. And this is the third team, so it's just interesting to see. Like I said, you see him score with the first two teams, and then seeing him come with the third team. Just steadily making plays. Oh, actually, right here is actually going to be the last play for this drive. I think this is the last play before they actually stalled out. But this is actually the deep ball to Hunter Lefty. And shout out to Landlord, shout out to West Coast, and Henny. I was listening to the show earlier. They were talking about Trey Lance for a little bit. He has a great deep ball, and he has, like, every now and then he does show that strength in his arm, and he does have the accuracy. He was able to get Hunter Lipke, to make a great catch right here. But it's just we need we. I mean, at this point, he needs consistency, and he definitely needs a lot more. But shout out to Hunter to be able to make that catch. You know, and like I said, shout out to David Durden earlier making that diving catch. It's like I said, these receivers, like a lot of guys that we may have not, heard their names before or really pay attention like that. These guys are stepping up, taking the opportunity to, at least, put their name out there to maybe, put something on tape. I mean, because all these guys are going to get opportunities. I'm sure, I think maybe early in preseason, of course we have 3 games, so I think early in preseason we may see Tolbert and Brooks maybe take early snaps, but I think we're going to see a lot of these, wide receivers. I mean, we have a ton of them, and we don't even really hear about Cam Johnson a lot or Corey Crooms like that. So, actually, I'm not even sure about Corey Crooms. I'm not sure if he's there. I think he might be number 6. I'm not sure who number 6 is on the offense. I wasn't able to get his name off the number list, but yeah. So it's just interesting. I think these guys get a lot of burn in preseason. From Tyron Billy Johnson all the way down to to guys like Cam Johnson and things like that. So I think we'll see, and there's plenty of time. I'm sure there'll be enough quarters, enough time to be divvied up between all these guys. Who are going to be playing in preseason. And to the tight end, I really want to see more from a tight ends perspective, not just Brevin Spanford, but also Princeton Fent. There were a couple of passes that he caught for Trey Lance in the day before yesterday in practice, but definitely I would like to see a lot more usage of the tight ends. I know the Cowboys are trying to trying to feel out what we have going as far as the running back room, and maybe they're just trying to do more screens, things like that, plays out the flat with the running backs. But I want to see more. I want to see more of the tight ends. Of course, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows that's the group I'm most excited about. But I want to see more use out of Brevin Spanford, even Alec Kohler. I mean, there were a couple passes that Trey Lance missed to him, but just to see what we have in these guys. I don't want these guys to lose out on a potential spot because but I'm sure McCarthy has things drawn up for these scenarios, and I'm not really worried about it. I would like to see more of it in practice, anything. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much I think those were all the clips I have for you guys today. Okay, okay. Law says Corey is now away from the team. Okay, okay, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, but I mean, yes, this. I mean, that's even more opportunity. I think that's yeah. I think I saw JB said I saw one pass that Jalen Tolbert didn't jump for that upset me. Seeing Durden die for that catch was phenomenal. Yeah, yeah, it was JB. Yeah, yeah, it was. I think there was one. I'm not sure which pass you're talking about from Tolbert. But if it was one from Jalen, it seemed like it was or I mean from Dak, it seemed like it was kind of over Jalen's head. I know that Deron Bland was in coverage, but it seemed like it was a little bit over his head, to be honest with you. I think by the time he turned around, I'm not sure he was able to kind of land that the way Deron Bland was in coverage. But I mean, I feel you. I mean, this is camp, and maybe maybe some of these guys are trying to preserve themselves, just in the way that they know. What I'm saying, and I mean, we've seen Tober making crazy plays, so maybe one play out of maybe one play out of 50. We don't have to we don't have to really hold against them. But I mean, I'm sure these guys, and I mean, and I know, I don't think they're going to let Tober really slide like that. I know we saw some guys maybe last season who didn't play preseason who maybe should have, so we can at least see what they have. I don't think they're going to let the battle for wide receiver three is a real thing. So I think that they're going to let Tober. They're gonna let Brooks really, and even Turpin going to try to kind of get up in the mix for wide receiver three. So I think they're really gonna let these guys battle it out in preseason. So I think we're gonna see them at least maybe like in the first couple games, so these guys can kind of ramp up themselves and not tire them out too much for the actual season start. But I think we're going to see a good decent helping of Tolbert and Brooks at least early on, to see what these guys are going to put on wax in front of the coaching staff. But yeah, as far as like I said, those are all the clips I have for today. I just wanted to show you guys what I was able to get. And I think this just makes me more excited, for the next couple of days of practice. Yeah, he said like a good brief upset. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you want to see these guys, pull out all the stops, when they're going for, especially when they're battling for a position like we were just talking about. So I think we're going to see, and this is about I think about 2 or 3 more weeks of practice left. So these guys definitely have more opportunities to show, what they're going to have, and I'm excited to see this. I don't know if they're going to televise the shows they have with the Rams. I'm just excited to see the preseason game. I'm excited to see football, once again. But I'm excited to see what these young guys have. It's one thing, just me as a fan, it's one thing to watch like other guys' preseason games or whatever. But it's kind of difficult because at least for me, I don't follow a lot, of draft guys, things like that. So when I see other guys, I recognize it's kind of hard for me to, kind of decipher how much the progress they're making. So when I see our young guys on TV and be able to know, what these guys are actually contributing at that moment, and say, okay, so that's so and so, that's so and so. Like last year, we weren't, these guys weren't really prevalent, like Kyron Billy Johnson, or even last year we saw, he's not with the team anymore, but I think his name. I think Dontario Drummond. I think we saw a lot of him. To me, he kind of not went under the radar, but he had a good showing in preseason last year. But it was just we just kind of we just had a lot of guys in the room, so you really had to show something. But I think he had a sneaky good preseason. I'm not sure. I can't really pin down which game it was, but I know there was a game. It might have been the Raiders game where they used him at least a lot in the first half, and he had some good catches out there. So yeah, I'm not sure if he's still in the league or maybe going to another practice spot, but that's what I'm talking about. Like I hope these guys get a good showing out in preseason, and with 3 games to look at, hopefully the coaching staff is able to give a fair evaluation of each room too, because it's going to help them decide, how many wide receivers to keep, how many tight ends, how many tight ends are going to use, how many running backs, that they want to keep. So, and how much depth they want to have as far as the O line. So I'm really excited for the next couple of days of practice. And yeah, so yeah. Thank you to everybody for joining me. I appreciate all the support, everyone coming in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe. Like I said, appreciate everybody who's made donations, everyone who's really subscribed. The only way from here is up, you guys. So I'm excited. I'm bringing you guys more clips when I get them together, and I catch you guys next time. Peace.